for you guys all coming today. You heard about me, who I am, and I'm Hungarian, as I'm sure that now you guys hear it from my accent. So sorry about the surprise. And I established Future Footprints 5 years ago with having a dream about having a multidisciplinary team that we do things slightly differently, but in a highly fun and motivated environment. So I thought, instead of talking about what we do, I'd rather show you how we do things at Future Footprints. So please welcome our happy video. And it's coming. That's it. thank you very much for watching. And if you like the glimpse of who we are, please let me tell you what we do. So Future Footprints, as I said, opened in 2011, and we are operating now in Mayaland. We've got, this is Adelaide's only private conductive education centre with a multidisciplinary team. We have a very fun and child-friendly environment. We would like to think that you've got a very friendly bunch of professionals working alongside you with huge flexibility and wide variety of services on offered. We are a family-owned and operated small business, and we like to keep it like that. We love that we know our clientele and children. We know a bit more of them, than just coming in for once an hour. We like to help them in every aspect as much as we can. As I said, we've got a multi-D team now. So besides the Hungarian-trained conductors, we've got physiotherapists, occupational therapists, speech pathologists, and we've got a new service opening up for behaviour counselling and carer support as well. I could talk a lot about those services, but I'm sure most of you are perfectly aware of the traditional services. But I thought to put a face to some of the programs we run. Here is our current team at the moment. Conductive education, as I said, I'm Hungarian. Conductive education originates from Hungary, and I've got a double degree in teaching and CE from the Pető Institute. Conductive ed was developed by Dr. András Pető after the Second World War, and he treated disability as an educational issue rather than a medical one, and worked out a system where he can teach children from a very young age up to adulthood how to use their abilities, what they have, and unlock abilities that they have not discovered, to use their brain as plasticity and the ability to learn. We are all the programs. So Conductive Ed works, besides on the successfully applied for some of the other disabilities listed. As I said, C is a holistic approach, working and treating the whole child. We always like to think that, when you have a child with a disability, we have to look further than that. Than just one aspect of them. But we need to know way more than that. We need to know what they love. We need to, that's the only way how we can motivate them. But we need to know, how they get from A to B. But we also need to know how they can use their hands so they can, have a little bit of a play. Otherwise, what was the reason from going from A to B? So that's where I mean about holisticity. We don't just say that we are working on this or that aspect, but one session will actually be incorporating many of the other skills that you can see. As you can see, if I would say we have a child with cerebral palsy, coming for one of our sessions, some of those pictures would sum it up that what we might be doing. We might be starting with, with a bit of crawling to warm them up, and then we're going to do standing and walking practice, and we might learn some of the self-care skills because, we might have to swap our AFO to our shoes, but there is always sort of an aim and a goal behind it. We don't do things just to do it, we do it for a purpose. So therefore, when we go from A to B, there will be a two-way game waiting for them to keep them motivated the whole way. I think it's time to say that what are the things that we can offer besides the services that we have. We've got early intervention programs from 6 months of age to adulthood. We run individual sessions, but they can be in center or at home or school. While also we've got after school hours or Saturday programs available, because some of you might find it more convenient to come at those times. We also have to say we've got some holiday programs. Some of them are individuals or groups, but also we've got an intensive break program, which is a multidisciplinary approach. Children are coming in 4 to 6 week blocks, 3 hours a day for an extended period of time, where this program is based on the principles of conductive ed, but also using other allied health professionals to enhance all the learning that we've been teaching. And as you know, we are an approved provider for NDIS as well. Oh, and let's go back. Can I go back? Oh, yes, I can go back. Sorry about that. But I always feel, me as a mother as well, that if I get the service sort of recommend it and hear it from someone else what their experience was, I probably would be more obliged to sort of have a look at it. So I thought, Heidee, with Will, we thought that maybe we could ask her what her perspective and what she feels and how she feels about Future Footprint. So if you don't mind, I would like to pass the microphone on.
Thank you. Well, obviously that's me and my son. Thank you for putting a picture up. Yeah, and I promise you Esther hasn't paid me to say any of this. But I just wanted to come on because honestly, probably like many of you, you know, you're thrown into this boat of having a child with a disability and you're thrown into it and no one tells you what to do. You're left to find your own way and it's pretty much, well, it's damn hard. And I remember early on, you know, we got a medical diagnosis and there was delay this, delay that, gross motor this, fine motor that, you know, and everything he wasn't. And, you know, every day I had a list a mile long of things I was supposed to do with him. I was supposed to be his physio, his OT, his speechy, and I was never his mother. And I just got ridiculously overwhelmed and I wasn't functioning. And I know that's probably nothing new to anyone who's been in that boat. And I remember I called Esther for the first time and she sort of said, oh, can you give me a rundown roughly of what your boy is like? And I said, well, he's unlikely to ever walk because that's what we've been told. And she went, oh, well, we can still make him strong and we can still get him to, you know, help you with transfers and we can... And it was suddenly like she introduced all these levels of independence that were in between walking and suddenly the light bulb come on. It was like, he's not just, well, he's not that and he's not that. It was suddenly, he could be something other than what he wasn't. And she sort of taught me to be, probably for the first time in my life, and I'm not exaggerating, it was the first time I could actually be proud of my son and go, you know what, he is something more than what he can't do. He's more than his disability. And he went from a boy that was basically very oblivious to the world to now being stubborn and having a say, and he has to have his voice heard, and he lets me know loud and clear what he wants. And I thought, you know, really this is just down to this team who looks at him as a whole and looks at not what he can't do and not at his diagnosis and what the medicals say. It's like, well, who cares what they say? Let's just treat him as a human being and push his potential. And who knows where we'll get, but let's just celebrate who he is. And as you saw in the video, the team is as crazy as all the kids that come in, and they are beautiful. And, you know, as a parent, you know, I wasn't supported early on, and I had no one behind me. And yet now, not only does my son have someone behind me, I've got a whole team behind me, you know, who check in with me. And if I'm struggling, they step in. They don't just support my son, they support me. So if you are struggling to find someone who genuinely cares and someone who makes you feel less like a client, come to these guys, because honestly, you're not a client, you're a family member, and it is the most amazing journey you'll be on. So thank you very much.
If anybody has any questions, please feel free to come and see us at the Future Footprint booth. So thank you very much for listening.